This news update is brought to you by
This is the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update for Wednesday, July 2nd, 2014. I'm Carol Williams. A warm welcome to you. The Barbados-chaired CARICOM Commission on the economy hits a snag today. The Commission could not take decisions on any recommendations because the CARICOM Council of Finance and Planning, COFAP, failed to meet ahead of the summit. Prime Minister Donville Inniss said without that meeting, the committee cannot get down to the task of addressing the region's economic woes.
The Commission on the Economy was advised to continue its work until we can get specific recommendations coming from the Council of Finance and Planning, but all the issues related to fiscal imbalance, matters relating to unemployment, matters relating to the very anemic, sometimes non-existent growth in the region. The story across the region, with the exception of Trinidad and Tobago, for obvious reasons, the story is the same, and therefore we are all groping for answers to some very perplexing problems. So the committee continues its work under Barbados' chairmanship, and Senator Darcy Boyce has been commended for the kind of work that he has been doing, the quality of reporting that has been coming from the Commission on the Economy.
Stewart was speaking to the media this evening on the first day of business meetings in the 35th Heads of Government Conference. At this hour, he and other Caribbean leaders are having discussions with Spain's Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, who arrived at the meeting just after 4 this evening. Minister of Industry Donville Inniss is defending his government's high level of taxation, though he admits he too is feeling the pinch. But he tells businesses to stop moaning and groaning, since the measures are necessary to pull the country out of its economic crunch.
I'm not going to say that it's not rough. It is rough for some businesses in this country. That is true. I also feel that our level of taxation is quite high. I would like to see a reduction in my level of taxes. I pay a lot of money in taxes as well. On the other hand, I also understand and appreciate the fact that there is a challenge, prolonged challenge to government's finances in terms of our revenue, in terms of our expenditure, and that it is not going to be resolved overnight. So I certainly empathize with all who complain, because I too am feeling the pain like anybody else. But I think we have to recommit ourselves to working together as one big family in Barbados, to pull ourselves up and out and to stay ahead.
Inniss was speaking to the media last night following the renaming of Neil and Massey Group to Massey Group of Companies at the Autodome in New Orleans. Meantime, former Prime Minister Owen Arthur is on a mission to champion the plight of the poor in his constituency. Today, the St. Peter representative launched a petition against government's implementation of the municipal solid waste tax. Arthur says the duty is an additional burden on the people that they simply cannot afford. He again argued that Section 5 of the Tax Act allows for some persons to be exempt, and says his office will be rallying for their cause. Once completed, the petition will be forwarded to Minister of Finance, Chris Sinclair. Some say age is just a number, and Barbados' latest centenarian is proving just that. Cyril Carriga today celebrated his 100th birthday, declaring to Governor-General Sir Elliot Belgrave that he feels like a 60-year-old. Carriga, who celebrated the milestone with family and friends at Seabreeze Beach Hotel, thanked God for the blessing, adding that he didn't feel any different now than he did 40 years ago. Well, Mr. Kariga, congrats to you, and we wish you many more to come.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun power.
To news now from the region, Dominica could say goodbye to the Privy Council as early as this week, a day after Parliament approved legislation allowing the country to adopt the Trinidad-based Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, as its final court. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says he's wasting no time.
As soon as this week, once His Excellency the President assents to the bill, to the act, it will come into full force, and the Speaker should send the certificate to His Excellency the President today, Wednesday. So we expect it to take immediate effect.
Skerrit says while the Privy Council served Dominica well, it was not accessible to many people who would have wanted their cases heard there. Dominica will join Barbados, Guyana and Belize as the only CARICOM countries to sign on to both the original and appellate jurisdictions of the CCJ. And Skerrit says he hopes the leadership shown by Dominica will encourage other governments to follow suit. Internationally, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy says he is deeply shocked by allegations of corruption leveled against him. Sarkozy appeared before a court overnight, just 24 hours after he was detained for questioning by police for influence peddling. It is alleged that the former leader sought inside help from a high-ranking judge with regards to investigations into campaign finances in exchange for a top post in Monaco. But Sarkozy, who has denied the charges, told French media that the allegations are part of a plot to humiliate him. And on that note, we come to the end of the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update. We will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. with another update. Until then, you can log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, or you can like us on Facebook to get the latest news and sports. I'm Carol Williams. Have a great evening.
This news update is brought to you by